Good morning. Hello, hello, hello. So today we are going to do a gentle class. We're going to use our weights and our resistance bands a little bit, but we're just going to move slowly. So make sure that you take the time to really listen to your body. Do what you feel comfortable doing. Make sure you're listening to all the modifications, the usual stuff. Okay, and I guess that's about it. Let's get this show on the road, hey? So as I uncross my legs, straighten up that knee. Make sure you got some water if you're gonna need it. I know I am, so just have a little drink before we start. There we go. All right, I guess it's time to stand up. Okay, so remembering your positioning of your body to start with, okay? So we want to have those feet only about hip distance apart. So don't look at this part of your hips, think about where your hip bones are. Okay, imaginary line running down the center of the body there. You're gonna lift right up out of your feet, your ankles, pulling up nice and tall. Don't lock up those knees too tight, keep them a little bit softer. Soft means not locked up, okay? Doesn't mean to bend them completely. And also lift those ankles so that we're starting to support ourselves through our feet properly. All right, then the hips and the pelvis, we want to make sure we have just that little pelvic tilt. We don't want to sink back into the hips like this. We want to feel ourselves getting taller. We want to feel the spine lengthening right up to the top where we lengthen out the back of the neck. So don't lift the chin, okay? You need to keep the chin tucked and down so that the nose is pointed straight forward. Let's just gently roll those shoulders now. Just slowly and gently, just want to feel what's going on. Grind, grind, crack, pop. As long as it's not hurting, just take your time. Good, now we're going to take a breath in and bring those arms up, and you're going to breathe out and take them down. I've got a new word for you. It's called floating. Let's float the arms up. That way they are relaxed, because when something floats, it's just a gentle, relaxed movement, yes? So we're going to relax as we come up, and deep breath out. And now we're going to float them around the other way, breathing in and out. And again, breathing in and out. I'm going to keep those shoulders relaxed as well, remember? So if you can't get your arms directly up over your head, then you don't have to go to that point. Let's just take the right arm up now, and we're just going to slide down the left leg. Good, and coming back up. Don't overdo it. You don't have to go too far. We're just waking up the side of the body. Good, let's do that once more each side. A little bit like when you stretch before you first get up. And up, just waking up that body. Good, arms are still floating. Let's take them down. Good, drop the chin to the chest now. And then as you breathe out, you're going to slowly arch the back and roll yourself down. Now those arms are still relaxed, so they're just hanging underneath you. Hold it at the bottom and breathe in. And then as you breathe out again, you lift up through the center of the body. So feel the belly button draw back. It's the only area that's going to get a little tighter. And then you're going to stand tall, breathing in. And deep breath out. Chin drops first, then we arch the back. So try not to just lean forward before you've even dropped your head. Let those arms just hang like a rag doll underneath of you. The shoulders will gently roll forward as you do that, just because of gravity and the weight of your arms. Slowly reverse it, lifting up through the center of the body and standing nice and tall. Good, let's float those arms out to the side again, shoulders still down. We're going to do a little twist to the right and then slowly round to the left. Good, off we go again. Keeping the hips facing forward. Take the time to feel what's going on with your legs. They shouldn't be moving, neither should your feet, because you're moving from the waistline. Once more each way. And around again. Good, coming back to the center and gently taking those arms down. Good, okay. Rising up and tapping one heel. Rising up and tapping the other. Keep it going. I've got a hair tickling my ear. Alternating. All right, so when that heel taps the floor, it's going to tap down really gently so that we don't sink into those hips. We want to keep everything lifting up, lengthening and nice and tall. Good. Nice and long, I should say. Let's rise up on both feet. Long legs and lower and up and down. So there's nothing going on in the upper body at all. It's just holding you with good posture. It's all about the feet here. Up. Good, we'll do 3. Ooh. And 2. And 1. Good, and shake it out. Good work. All right, so we're going to grab that elastic now. So grab your elastic. And as you all should know by now, I do like to use this elastic for posture. Okay, so it is a great tool for strengthening the posture. So holding onto the ends and then holding it roughly shoulder distance apart. So you need to think about your shoulder distance. You can see where my hands are sitting in front of my shoulders roughly. Okay, so you can see that's my shoulder distance, but I don't have any problems with bringing my arm straight up and keeping my shoulder relaxed. If you have weak shoulder or a sore shoulder, something's going on there, you might find you can't get it all the way up, in which case I want you to take it out a little bit and see if you can get it a little higher, which means rather than stretching the elastic, you need to slide your hands along it so that you're holding it here instead, okay? So we do want to try and lengthen those arms, but we don't want those shoulders to lift. So taking the arms up, shoulders down, make sure there's a little bend in those elbows, and then just take those shoulders back. So all we want to feel here is a little stretch in the front of the shoulders, and then just take your focus to between the shoulder blades. You can feel them squeeze towards each other. So these are small, gentle movements that you can feel. Okay, nothing too strenuous. Let's hold. And we're going over to the side. Now, I don't want the arms to actually move. They're in the same position. Because you tilted, they've come over. Okay, let's go the other way. Again, this is working from the waistline, so try to avoid pushing that hip away or transferring your weight, okay? Keep the weight centered. Shoulders down and lower. Shoulders back here and small bend. Shoulders back and small bend. And again, keep it small. It's just a release. We don't need to be doing any deep squats here. We'll get to those. Let's do one more and take your arms all the way up as you stand, shoulders down. We're going to do all of that again. So shoulders back for 5 and 4 and 3, 2, and hold. Again, it's in the waistline, so you don't need to go far. Pull up over to the other side and pull up. Bring the arms down, take the shoulders back and bend. 1. Those arms are still floating. I'm not stretching the arms at all, so we don't want to activate those shoulders. They will get tight if you are stretching those arms. Let's do one more. Good, and this time you can just stand. Give those arms a little shake, loosen up. Good, okay. The next exercise really is just about posture and shoulder rotation, okay? So it's just this movement. It is really gentle, so you're not gonna feel a stretch across the front of the shoulders. You're not gonna feel a lot going on in the back or anything like that. As we get closer to number 10, you will start to feel the shoulder working. However, if you are feeling the arm, that means those elbows are sticking out, okay? So we need to keep those elbows in, turn the palms to face each other, and then we gently pull on that elastic. So it's not a big movement at all. You can see there's hardly any movement coming through my upper body. You can also see that my elbows are still in at my waist when I pull out, okay? So you're going to feel the arm working if the elbow pulls away. So we just want to keep the shoulders, and as we're closing in on number 10 now, you can start to feel the shoulders working. 3, 2, 1, and lower down. Good. All right, shake it out again. Let's just hold on to the ends now, and we're going to stand in the center of the elastic. Try to make it as even as you can and get those feet still hip distance apart. Try and keep that as a habit, that your feet are hip distance apart. All right, make sure you got a little bit of tension there. That's roughly even. All right, we're going to start working through the legs and the butt. So if you do feel it in your knee, your hip, or your butt, please loosen off the elastic. I don't know how tight your elastic is. You do. Work within your limitations. I know that with mine, I can go to here. I'm tucking my elbows back behind me, so my hands are sitting roughly where my hips are. Okay, so you can work out. If you've got to keep your arms down there, that's up to you. Lift that pelvic floor and take the right leg out. 1, 2, so no pain in through the knee at all. What you are going to feel working is the butt on the other side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. So you might have noticed I kept my foot on the floor, tapped in and out, okay, so that I don't end up doing this. Let's do the other leg. 1, 2, 3, pull up tall, 4. Now you're going to feel it a little bit quicker on the other leg this time because you were working it. 8, 9, 10. Good, and release gently down. Okay, let's carefully step off that elastic. That's all we're going to use it for today. So just pop it down on the floor. Before you grab yourself a drink or any weights or anything, let's just release those shoulders. So come and stand back on your mat. Standing up tall, taking your right arm out to the side and then across the body. Now I'm not stretching it across the body, it's just gently sitting there. And that way I can keep this shoulder down. Use the other hand to just hug that arm into you. So it doesn't feel like a lot. You're not going to be getting any huge, amazing stretch on that shoulder at all. What you are doing is releasing, okay? So it's not a huge stretch. I don't want you to feel a big stretch here. You're just hugging it in towards you. Good, and then we open out, take it down, other arm goes out, and we take it across the body. See, I'm not stretching it across the body, just taking it over. This shoulder is down, and then I hug it in. Good, so we don't want to feel anything going on in the neck there, that's relaxed. Standing tall still, we don't want to start sinking into those hips. Use those lower back muscles, stand up. Good, let's open out again, take it down. All right, arms up above the head, make your pistol grip, and this time we are going to lift up and tilt back. Again, trying not to push the hips forward. And then return. Good, okay, now shake out those legs. Grab yourself a drink if you need one, but we're gonna grab our weights now. Do some squats with the weights. So when you're ready, coming back to your mat and taking your feet about shoulder distance apart this time. So I'll just give you a moment in case you've gone off to get a drink. Couple of things to think about when you're doing your squats is not only to stay connected and keep that pelvic floor lifted, but remember we don't want to lock up those elbows. Right now my arms are long and straight, okay, but my elbows are not locked up, okay? If I do that, did you see that tiny little bit of extra movement? Now they're locked up, okay? So we want to come to here. It's important that we lengthen out the muscle, so that's contracting the muscle, making it shorter, and then that is lengthening it back out. So that's important. okay? But if you're not lengthening it, you don't want to lengthen it out to complete straight, because if you do that, you start to switch off the muscle and the elbows get sore. All right, are we ready now? Let's go, down we go, and pull up tall. Try not to push those hips forward, but lift out of them instead. Spine grows longer and longer. Oh no, you can hear those knees going crack, crack, crunch, crunch. It's all good as long as it doesn't hurt. Belly button gently drawing back. We're gonna do 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and hold. Good, so we're in a hinge position, okay? It is a position you go into regularly. I know you don't feel like you do, because you don't usually just hold it like this, okay? But you do lean forward, all right? So it is really important that if your back starts to get sore, that you straighten the legs and come up a little bit, okay? We do want to keep leaning though. All right, pull those elbows back past the rib cage. Let's do 5 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My arms are feeling it. What this is my 4th class so far this week. That doesn't sound like a lot, but we've been using the weights when you've done like hardly any weight work over Christmas. You start to feel it pretty quickly, don't you? Okay, take those feet wide, turn them out, make sure that those ankles are still lifted. Let's try and get those little arches there in the foot. Bring the hands into the shoulders and take the elbows out, okay? So important that you remember here to not let those shoulders roll forward. Keep those elbows tucked under. Let's go down and push up. Complete control, keeping those shoulders, arms straight up over the shoulders. If you do start to push those arms forward, you're going to feel it really quickly in the neck, okay? And we don't want to do that because it means your shoulders rolling forward as well. Not a good place to be. 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good. All right, we're holding it. You can drop your elbows a little bit if you like. All right, the tailbone's tucked under, your back is upright, so try and avoid this position, okay? Tuck that bum under, try and open up those hips, but pull the knees back in the opposite direction. That means that they're gonna activate those inner thighs. And come up, arms in and down. Good, shake it out. All right, last little bit while we're standing is going to be a split squat on each side. Right foot forward, left foot back. Now, before we go any further, I want you to take a big step like this and have your back heel off the floor. Right now, most of my weight is going down through the front leg, but I can feel that it's going down through the back leg as well. From here, I open up the hips by tucking the pelvis under or lifting the pelvic floor, and then I bend both my knees. Now, because I've come straight down from that position, I can feel everything in this back leg, okay? So if you can feel it in your front leg, you'll be here, okay? And it might be the fact that you're scared about hurting that knee, in which case you're just gonna come up higher. But I do want you over that back leg. That's the leg that should be working now. So if it's all in the front leg, this is where you'll be. Bend that back knee a little bit more and bring your weight back over the back leg, okay? This is where you should be. Let's do 5 bicep curls, nice and controlled. 2, 3, 4, 5, good, let's pull that back leg in. Okay, so let's take the other leg back this time. Again, the weight is centered here, okay? I have weight evenly on both legs. My back heel is lifted. Then, as the tailbone tucks under, I bend both knees. The weight is now over that back leg, not the front. Have we got it? We can feel it in that back leg, yeah? Not in the front leg. Let's curl for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And pull it in. Good, that is all we are going to do today. So give those legs a really good shake, pop your weights down. It's not all we're going to do, it's all we're going to do up here. Shake it out, give it a really good loosen up, okay? Grab yourself a little drink and then come and stand at the end of the mat. We'll release those shoulders and legs a little bit more and we'll head on down into everyone's favourite plank. Okay, so when you've had your drink, you're standing at the end of your mat. You have your feet roughly hip distance apart again. We stand up tall, we lift up out of those hips. Think about your posture. Take a deep breath in. Breathe out, lift the shoulders to the ears. And breathe in and lower. That feels odd, doesn't it? Don't worry if you're breathing the other way, but we are trying to breathe out as we come up and in as we go down. And once more. Drop the chin to the chest. Slowly roll down. Go as far as you can with those legs still straight. You might be getting a stretch in the back of the legs now. Bend your knees so you can reach the floor. Now you're either on fists or flat hands, okay? No fingertips. Walk yourself out, keeping those hips nice and high, so stay connected. Find your plank. You transfer your shoulders over your wrists. You tuck the tailbone under as you come into position. If you want to lower your knees to the floor, then you can do that. Keep the posture strong, proud chest. If you want to come down onto your elbows, you can do that. It's up to you. I'm not timing the plank today. We're just going to hold it till I say stop, unless you need to come down earlier. I want you to focus on what the tummy is doing, so I do want you to feel that the tummy is working here, okay? So belly button gently drawing back and activating, switching on those tummy muscles. There should be no pressure in your lower back at all, okay? Upper body, yes, that's working. Yes, you can feel the shoulders working, okay? You should be able to. Tummy is holding you steady. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Of course, stop whenever you need to. You don't have to go for a long time. You just need to make it a good one. Breathing in and out. Good. Let's hold it for about 30 seconds more. Feeling the tummy working. Still breathing deeply. Stop if you need to. Good. 20 seconds left. 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's pull back into child's pose. Really make those arms long. Let the head drop down towards the floor. Sit back as far as you can. Feel the stretch in that upper back there. And then slowly lower yourself down onto your tummy. Okay, let's take those arms up above the head. Tuck your chin and rest your forehead onto the mat. You should have your shoulders and arms relaxed. You're going to take the opposite arm and leg, gently lift away from the floor and gently lower and change sides. So while you're doing this, I want you to feel what's going on through the body, okay? We do want to make sure that we are connected the whole time. So starting with the belly button, it should be drawing towards the spine. You can still breathe, Okay, breathing out and in. Breathing out and in. It just means that when you lower the arm and leg back to the floor, you are staying connected. You're not switching off and flopping into the floor. The hips are anchored down so there's no twisting through the lower half. We're going to finish evenly here, and then we're going to add a pulse into the movement. So that means the right arm, left leg lift, and we pulse up, 2, 3, and then gently lower down. Lengthen and up, 2, 3, gently lower down. The slower and more control you can have as you lower, the better your core will be, or the stronger it'll get, because you'll be staying connected the whole time. A lot of the time, people will come down and sink into the floor, which means they're switching everything off. I want you to stay strong through the whole thing. Up, 2, 3. Let's do one more of these on each side. One more set on each side. Up, 2, 3. Then you're going to slip those elbows under your shoulders and squeeze that lower back. And get some fresh air. Good, okay, lower yourself back down, rest your forehead onto your hands, elbows out to the side. Let that chest sink towards the floor. Try to keep that chin tucked right down to your chest. Really lengthen out the back of the neck there. Just the legs, lengthen the right one, and we're going to pulse it up and down. A little bit faster, 3 to 5 pulses, and then lower. So it's just the legs, one leg at a time. So again, we shouldn't be rocking around. A lot of your focus for this one has to come on that change of legs. So when you go from one side to the other, the body should be balanced in the center. So again, that comes down to switching off the core. If you are flopping down into the floor after your pulses, you'll find that you get a really big rock through the hips. For those that want to make it a little bit more challenging, let's lengthen both legs and do a swimmer kick for about the count of 3 to 5. And then the same thing, when you lower those legs, they come down gently, like you're trying to float on top of the floor, not sink down into the floor. Hopefully that makes some sense. Please make sure at the end, if you don't understand anything I've said, that you let me know. Different words help people understand things. Everyone's a little bit different, so I might just need to word it differently for you. Lengthening. And we're going to do this once more. So if you are still doing one leg at a time, make sure you're even. And then we're going to take the hands underneath the shoulders, push up, and we're going to stretch back as far as you can. So you're releasing the hips and the back. Good. Okay, let's have a seat now. Sitting with our feet at the end of the mat. Sitting up nice and tall. Now I want you to think about your positioning. I'm going to start at the feet, okay? Have a look where they are. There should be a gap between them, roughly hip distance. Your knees are then pointed directly to the ceiling. So I rest my elbows on my knees, my arms straight up. They're pointed straight to the ceiling, not out to the side, not in towards each other. Okay, so if you have trouble, and I do find that a lot of men tend to have this problem, women go this way, men go the other way, okay, generally, I'm generalizing. But if you do have trouble keeping your knees pointed upwards, take your feet a little bit wider so that we can activate those inner thighs better, okay? Then I want you to use your lower back muscles and sit up nice and tall, okay? The belly button draws back to hold. That's like the glue that just holds that lower back in position. Hands underneath the legs and small pelvic tilt. So this one is small enough that really the arms don't move much at all. Like you can see that there's really not any movement through the arms. It is all in the pelvis. If you start to get tight in your upper back or in your neck, you'll probably find you're doing this, which means you're lifting your shoulders. Okay, we don't want to lift those shoulders. The C curve comes from this lower back area. We're trying to strengthen up those muscles down there. They do tend to get weak quite easily. All right, it's either your butt or your upper back that does all the work. All right, if you want to make it more challenging, take your hands out to the side. Again, they're floating, so don't stretch, okay? Bend those elbows, get a good bend in them. Pelvic tilt and lean back. Push through the center of the body here, not through the chest, but through where the belly button is, okay? And then sit up tall. Deep breath out. Breathe in and hold. Breathe out and sit up tall. The arms come back with you, even if they're under your legs, they slide down your legs, okay? Because again, we don't want to get tight in that upper body. So even if you're dropping your chin, that is no reason why your shoulders need to roll forward, okay? So it's all in the center. Take your mindset, put it there, and focus on what's happening. Deep breath out. And again. Good. Let's do one more of these and then you can give those legs a good shake. Remember, if your back or hips do start to get sore, you do need to stop straight away, okay? Sometimes one more can be too many. Shake it out, loosen up. Legs are straight, sit up tall. Now you can reach, you can stretch forward, that's fine. Drop your head as well, but draw that belly button back. Relax your shoulders, proud chest as you sit up. Again, reach and stretch, and belly button back and sit up. And again, belly button back and sit up. We're going to do two more, and reach and lift. Last one, reach. Make sure that you open that chest up as you come back. Bend the knees and you're going to roll yourself down. Use your arms if you need to, all the way down onto your back. Good, let that belly button sink down into the floor. Take a deep breath in through the nose. And as you breathe out, everything sinks in the center. See if you can hold it all there as you breathe in, filling those lungs up. And this time as you breathe out, pelvic tilt, and you're going to roll up into a bridge. Lift, use that butt to help you lift. Breathe in and hold. And breathe out, slowly roll it back down. Now take your time, okay? One long breath out all the way up. Try to take control of how your body is moving. And this one, we want to feel the spine roll up and roll down. So if you find that your butt is hitting the floor before your center of your back, it might be a case of making sure your butt is still tight as you roll down. Very common for people to switch those butt muscles off as they roll back down. They hold them here, and then as they start to come down, everything lets go, and that's when the pelvis tilts and the butt hits the floor too early. So one more, let's get it right. Squeeze that butt and lift, still squeezing as we roll back down so that we can get the center of the back on the floor first. Good job. All right. Keeping the arms by your side, we're going to take one leg up to tabletop. Let the belly button sink down and bring up the other leg. Okay, leg extensions, pushing out and bring back to tabletop, then the other leg. Remember, you don't need to go too low here. If you can feel it in your back, you are too low. Breathe out and push away. Breathe in and take it back. Out and in. Out and in. and out, and in, out. We're going to do one more on each side. Deep breath out and in. Last one, and in. Drop the knees to your chest, grab hold and gently pull them towards you. Good, okay, take those legs back to tabletop. This time support your neck with your hands, elbows out to the side, and as you extend, you're going to curl up and back and up and back. Deep breath out and in. Deep breath out and in. Deep breath out and in. Keep it going. And we're going to do 4 more. 1. Feel that belly button sinking into the floor even as you go back, because those arms are lifted. You've got to make sure you stay connected, stay switched on. Last one. Good. Bring the knees towards your chest. Use your hands to gently pull them in. Good. This time you can take your feet to the floor, stretch those legs out, give them a really good shake. Good. Bend the knees up. If you can come up onto your toes. However, it's a lot easier to cramp that way. So if you feel like your feet are going to cramp, just flatten your feet down. But I want your feet as close to your bum as you can get them. Let's squeeze those legs together. Take the arms out to the side, and we're going to twist over to about halfway and hold. You're going to slowly roll through the middle and over to the other side. Now, one thing I want you to take notice of when you are doing this, a lot of people have that brilliant control and that slow motion coming through the center. But then when they get to the side, they sort of do this little jolt. And that just means that you're switching off as you get to the end. Okay, there's no end with this movement. Okay, you've got to stay switched on. It means the pelvic floor is engaged, your belly button is drawing back as you stop. I want you to control the stop at each side. Okay, just taking that little bit more control of how your body moves. All right, if anyone wants to go a little harder, you can take those legs to tabletop, same movement. You know how it goes. But again, you've got to have that control the whole time. So when you get to the side, don't go too far. We don't want the back to arch. We don't want the back to get sore. There should be no pain anywhere. This is a gentle, gentle movement. And again. Good, and we're going to make sure we're even on both sides, and then we're going to come back to the center, and once more we're going to hug those knees into the chest. Finish it, then hug. Good, and now I want you to pull those knees out towards the shoulders, so you're opening up the hips. Bring it back to the center. Take hold of that left leg and extend the right one out. If you want to leave your head on the floor, you can. Otherwise, chin into the chest, belly button down into the floor, and we change legs. So when we do this one, it's very common for people to rock and grab that leg, and they think their nose has to meet their knee, but I want you to keep your nose in the center so that the knees come to your ears instead, okay? So no rocking that upper body. It is just those legs moving here. Belly button sinking down. We're doing 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We bring both in. Good, place the hands behind the knees. Rock and roll. Up you come. balance. Okay, so if your back and hips are sore, feet come to the floor. It's easy to remember because it rhymes. Shoulders are down. Arms out to the side. Keep those shoulders down. What are the arms doing? They should be relaxed. They're floating, remember? They're floating. They're not tight. There's no lift. It's here. And gently lower. Good. Good work. All right, sitting up nice and tall here. Push the chest forward. Drop that head down. Make sure you can feel the stretch in the back of the legs there. Deep breath out. See if you can sink a little bit more. Relax that neck. Relax your arms and shoulders. The upper body is heavy. It's a weight pulling you down. Good. Belly button back. Sitting tall. Taking those legs out wide now. Push forward. Get the inner thighs activating straight away. And then drop, relax. Breathing in through the nose. Deep breath out through the mouth, getting heavier, relaxing your back all the way up your spine. Right into the neck, get that chin right down to the chest. Just when you think it's there, just check and make sure it can't go any further. And belly button back, and sit up tall again. Bring those legs in, shake it all about. Take your right leg, cross the body, pull it back as far as you can. Hug it in and sit up. Don't start to twist before you've sat up, okay? Sit up, hug, turn. We've got to really straighten up and open up that spine before we twist it, okay? Good, slowly back around. Change legs. Hug it in, sit up, turn the other way. And slowly back around. Good, give those legs a really good shake. Swing them around behind you. We're going to come into our kneeling position. Remembering if that ever doesn't suit you, you can always come up onto your feet and do a lunge. Just let me know and I'll make sure I set you up with the right stretch. Okay, so we are squared up here with the floor, making sure that ankle is underneath the knee. A little pelvic tilt to hold. No leaning involved, it's just that tilt and you can feel that leg stretching and the hip opening there. If you're struggling with balance at all, and it can be a little awkward to balance on your knee like this, then you might want to use a wall or a chair, table, whatever you've got beside you, not another person. Not a dog either, or a cat. They're not very good at staying still. All right, very carefully, let's change legs. Square yourself up, pelvic tilt and hold. Good, and release. Okay, so from here, bring your hands close to your knees, tuck your toes, and you can push yourself back into a crouch. Of course, if you can't come down that low, you might need to push yourself back this way with your butt a little higher. Either way, we want to get those heels flat on the floor. Drop your chin to your chest and slowly unroll, letting those arms just hang. Standing tall. Good. Take the arms up and make a pistol grip. Lift up out of the hips and tilt back. And to the top, over to the side now. A little easier than before. Over to the other side, hopefully. And back up. And arms out. Right, take a breath in. Breathe out and squeeze. And breathe in. Breathe out and squeeze, and breathe in. And breathe out and squeeze, and in, and take it down. All right, just let that chin come down to your chest now. And now chin to the ceiling. Take the chin all the way down to the chest again. You're going to roll the chin along your chest and bring it over to your right shoulder. So your chin is facing your right shoulder. So you're actually looking down and out on an angle over your right shoulder. From here, we're going to nod the head 3 times. 1, 2, finishing on the down part of the nod so that we can roll the chin along the chest and all the way over to the other side. 3 nods again. 1 and 2 and 3. Let's do it again, rolling around to the other side and nod. 1 and 2, gentle. 3, roll along, and 3, 2, 1. To the center now and lift the head. Good, just let the ear drop down towards the shoulder and then over to the other side. And back up, and deep breath in and out. Remember, floating arms. Breathe in, shoulders up, and breathe out, down. Breathe in, gently open, and breathe out. And again, up and down. Lift the shoulders high and lower them all the way down. Take the elbows back and deep breath out. Good. All right, well done everyone. Hope you're feeling good now. I'm sure you are. I am. Loosened up, ready for your day. Have a good week. See you around.